Hello, this is Frank Falvey with Frank's Musings. And to begin with, I'd like to muse about the recent town council vote on flags. And I'm reading the town council flag policy adopted at the last town council meeting. Introduction. This policy addresses only flags allowed to be flown on the flag poles located on the Town of Franklin Municipal Building entrance courtyard at 355 East Central Street, or in other words, where the town offices are. Municipal building authorized flags. The Town Council authorizes the following flags to be flown on the town-owned flagpoles at the municipal building at 355 East Central Street as an expression of the town government's speech. The official flag of the United States of America. The official flag of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. The official flag of the town of Franklin. The official flag of the various branches of military service of the United States of America. The official MIA-POW flag. The Progressive Pride flag, parenthesis, month of July only, enclosed paragraph, to be raised on the flagpole that includes the official flag of the town of Franklin. No other flag shall be allowed to be flown on the above described town-owned flag poles. Flags to be flown on these flagpoles pursuant to this policy reflect the official town Franklin policy position and are not intended to create a forum for private expression. Flags on the above described town-owned flagpoles shall follow the directives as given by the President of the United States or the Governor of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. This policy, the Town of Franklin Council, on behalf of the Town of Franklin, hereby adopts the Town Council flag policy dated January 26, 2004, attached thereto is Exhibit 1. This resolution shall become effective according to the provisions of the Town of Franklin Home Rule Charter, dated January 31st, 2014. A true copy by the town clerk, Nancy Danello. It was voted and passed by a 6-3 vote and was signed by Glenn Jones, clerk of Franklin Town Council. Let me, I guess, I have a number of points. To begin with, the official MIA-POW flag. I really question whether, first of all, this is not a flag authorized by any branch of the military service. It is not a flag authorized, as far as I know, by any government agency. And I'm unaware of any group that calls it an official flag. I'm old enough to remember when this flag came into existence. It came into existence either during the Vietnam War or shortly after the Vietnam War, because there were soldiers, military men and women that were missing in action. MI is missing in action. POW is prisoner of war. There was a lieutenant, I believe she was the wife of a lieutenant in the Air Force who went missing, and as far as I know, was never identified. In the Boston area, I'm not sure whether she lived directly in Boston, but in the Boston area. So this flag became, I don't know whether she had it designed or created, but it's a very, very recent flag, and the purpose of it was to remember those missing in action and those POWs that were still being held by the North Vietnamese. Obviously, today, there can't be any of them still living or still alive or still, I mean, they can be still missing, and maybe DNA possibly might identify some more if some more DNA was found. So the really purpose of the flag has changed, apparently. I mean, I don't know why the flag outside of the Vietnam War, how it has grown either in the eyes of the average person, in remembrance that there were people missing in action and POWs. I certainly there are some still missing in action. I don't know that there is any prisoner of war being held anywhere, to my knowledge, but I could be corrected on that. My point is, this is not an official flag of any government, any military service. I don't even know if there's an organization that exists, and maybe there is, that calls this an official flag. The progressive flag, month of June only. Now, this resolution is perpetual. So flying the progressive flag, okay, is forever, unless the town council decided to limit it. But indefinitely, until changed, every June we're going to have this flag fly. Now, the progressive flag, I don't know what the progressive flag is. I mean, is there a progressive organization that has adopted this flag as a progressive flag? And is it known as a progressive flag? I don't think so. And I would ask that the town administrators get a letter from whatever organization is purporting to have and wants to fly this flag, that it's authorized by them. Now, I know there is an LBGJ flag that is flown quite frequently in inappropriate places like schools, and flown in appropriate places like outside of homes. This doesn't explicitly say that that's the flag that's going to fly, and apparently on the Franklin flagpole. And as I read this, it's going to, I guess, fly underneath the Franklin flag. So the Franklin flag is more or less indicating that they're in support of this progressive flag. How can a private group, a group that has come together not based on ethnicity or immigration or a flag of other countries, which, you know, when we celebrate Italian Heritage Month or Irish St. Paddy's Day, yeah, there's a lot of flags of countries where immigrants have come from that have flown, but this is just a private group that has designed a flag, and they have done nothing, I don't think, humanitarian-wise. I don't think there is anything particular service-wise. I mean, I don't think there's any particular item that they've accomplished, or money that they've given away, or service that they've provided to others. And yet we're going to fly the flag every single June. Now, it says that this policy reflects the official town of Franklin policy position. I never heard of the Franklin official policy position. Could someone from the town of Franklin please send a copy to me or send a copy to the press of what is the town of Franklin policy position? And it goes on to say that it's not intended to create a forum for private or public expression. If you're flying a flag underneath the town of Franklin flag, how aren't you supporting a private or public position? You're not only supporting it, but because this is the only flag that's allowed to be flown, you're creating a super acceptance of what their beliefs are or whatever they stand for. You're saying that this is above all other flags that we could choose to fly, and is more important than any other flag that you can think of, any other government, any other national flag that we might want to fly in recognition of immigration heritage. It certainly is creating a division, even if you look at the vote. It was not a unanimous vote. It was a 6-3 vote. The flags on the above described owned flagpole by the town shall follow the directive as given by the President of the United States or the Governor of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Well, I know of no president policy, and I know of no state policy of flying the official MIA-POW flag. I don't think there is any presidential policy or state policy, so how can we follow that policy if there is none? And I certainly don't know of any presidential policy or any state policy around flying the progressive pride flag for the month of June. I would be shocked. So lacking those guidelines by the president or the governor of Massachusetts, how can we fly those two particular flags? The important flag coming up, I believe, to be flown in Franklin is the Olympic flag. In July, for about 14 days, the Summer Olympics are being held in Paris. The Olympics are nations that have agreed, if you go back to the old Athens days and Roman days, they even stopped warring. You know, maybe Israel would even stop pounding the heck out of Gaza and killing innocent women and children. Maybe we could recognize that the Olympics should be, highlighted. It is promoting peace. It is promoting the best in sports. And we have out of the town of Franklin at least 2 Olympic persons that participated in recent Olympics. One is a lady named Kirby, I believe, who played rugby. And the other one that I'm aware of is the 1984 U.S. hockey team winning the gold medal with, I believe the last name is Levet, who lived in Franklin. There may be more. Why not promote? Why not fly the Olympic flag during that period of time, okay, that the Olympics are on, and maybe even the recreational department would even have some sort of Olympic happenings in recreation. And maybe we could research and find out that there's more than just 2 people from Franklin, Mass. That have participated in the Olympics. Make it a Franklin thing. What is a pride organization have to necessarily contribute or done for Franklin? Here we have an Olympic opportunity to have the town of Franklin support something that is much greater and much more important, not only on a national and local, but an international basis. Well, what else was I going to say? You know, I was going to say President Biden should not be reelected. His administration is a failure. His economic policy is a failure. His getting out of Afghanistan was a failure. He continues not to put forward sound economic policy. We Democrats need to show in this March 5th presidential election coming up, okay, that there is an alternative. Dean Phillips, I don't know much about the guy. I've heard good things. You know, I can't even find a phone number or a location in Massachusetts where his headquarters are. If anyone knows, I'd love to try to get him on this program and have an interview with him. It is necessary that we discuss who really can, for the next 4 years, contribute to our security, contribute to solutions. It can't be Biden, and the other candidate, I don't believe has the interest of the United States anywhere in his mind. Give me a minute, Chris. What was the other thing? Israel, and what was the other thing I was going to talk about? Well, let me go to Israel. Okay. The state of Israel is still pounding the heck out of Gaza. And their friends are threatening shipping in the sea lanes. They're threatening that we may go to a wider war, which I believe was the whole purpose of the October 7th invasion of Israel. And Israel has responded the worst way they could by totally destroying everything, regardless of who they're bombing. When there was an alternative that would cost more Israel soldiers' lives, but would still diminish and get rid of Hamas. And that is more of a ground war, more of flooding the tunnels with ocean water. There was another military way to conduct this war. Humanitarian aid. We are not providing, not only in the Gaza area, but around the world. There is a lack of humanitarian aid, and there is a lack in and around Israel and the countries that surround it of camps of Palestinians that have been there since the 1970s. They have not been absorbed into any country or absorbed into any economic system. We need better planning, and the United States is on the wrong side of this issue. And not only is it on the wrong side, but Congress better make up their mind whether they want to vote to authorize a war that's going to expand, or whether they want to vote not to authorize a war that is going to expand. There needs to be a political thrashing out of where we want to go before we lose more American lives and will be forced to retaliate. Because America is just like Israel. You lose an American soldier, you lose an American citizen, and that alone will authorize a wider conflict with this administration. Well, I don't know what else to say except, the high school has great concerts. The Black Box has some great shows coming up. Even Tarzan is coming. So Dean College has got great arts going. As I said before in another program, I think it's time to have an art show. We have enough going on that someone ought to step forward, come down to the studio and produce a show on culture and arts that are happening in Franklin. Well, this is Frank Falvey, just off the top of my head, expressing some thoughts that have kept me up at night and maybe have raised my blood pressure, so the doctor's prescribing more medicine for me. But in memory of Robert Catalano, 101, a veteran of World War II, an outstanding Roman Catholic, I would ask all of you, in closing this program, to have a moment of silence in his outstanding life and in his memory.
This program was made possible by your Franklin friends and neighbors, good folks just like you. Thanks for supporting Franklin TV. And thanks for watching.